Chapter 33. Unexpected Aid. Full Moon of Cantle, 819. Sown Eve. Andrew will no doubt notice me missing and start a search. I can't tarry in my warm leaf bed. How I wish I could have another hot bowl of porridge, but it is not to be. The fog is still heavy this morning, but it will only blind me to the sharp-eyed and sharp-eared animal forms of my Druid pursuers. I have no opportunity for strategy. It will take the rest of the day to reach Boswin's camp along the Druid Ditch Road. One way or another, this ordeal ends today. Coming from the south, I hear the steady gait of ponies along the road. I doubt these men will be Druids, but I am fairly well known in these parts, though for the wrong reasons. I'm this close to Dartmoor, and if even one person recognises me, it will all be over. Through the interweaving branches, I can see that the cart is moving at a comfortable pace. I bow my head low and move to the side of the road. With luck, this farmer will leave me be. I step off the road as if to relieve myself. My back to the wagon, I close my eyes and await my fate.
"Ho, Grammy! When you're done pretending, I've been sent to find you," a cheerful voice says.
I release my robe and turn to see Blockstenius smiling down at me. Speechless, I walk toward him. What is going on here?
"I see you have not mastered the bardic tradition. Hop aboard, and I will fill you in while I take you to Boswin."
I pinch myself to confirm that I am indeed awake.
"Hurry along. There are scores of Druids abusing every owl, bear or wolf from here to Dartmoor in hopes that it is you. I was about to turn back. Be quick now. Time is short."
He winks at me.
"Here's hoping no Druids find us."
I climb up and take a seat next to the trader. He flicks his wrists and the ponies turn around in a broad circle.
"What do you know about the current situation?"
I repeat some of what Andrew had told me, and I hint at problems between the 9. Blockstenius nods his head slightly and says, "You know the heart of the matter. It is interesting to me that Loris hasn't mentioned the orchid to the common Druids. This story of insurrection is sure to inflame passions, but he will have to deal with the backlash once the community finds out it was all over a silly flower. Speaking of which, you have the ghost orchid with you, do you not?" "I do." I hastily grab my pack and open it to confirm my statement. I remove the sad little flower from my pack and show Blockstenius the object of my quest. Several friends are dead or worse. This flower is all I have to balance out the tragic losses.
"Put that away. The next person to see that should damned well be Boswin."
"If it's still recognisable."
"You need to stay in the present and not to wallow in self-pity. I know that your trip has been an ordeal, but I need you to not draw attention to yourself."
He waggles his finger at me.
"I know you can be a hothead, so let me handle anyone we come across."
"I can fight if I must." He taps his temple.
"I have a better way available to me."
A falcon flies down from its perch and lands in front of us. It is in the late juvenile stage by the look of it, and a very young Druid replaces it soon after landing.
"Halt!" he shouts. "I must know the name of the Druid in your cart before you can proceed down this road."
He manages to keep his voice from quivering too badly.
"Why, I have no Druid with me. This is my nephew. We are just a couple of poor traders chasing after the elusive prosperity of Brigantia."
The young Druid relaxes.
"My apologies. The angle of the light made your nephew's clothes look white for a moment. Please continue on your way and beware. There is a rogue Druid about, and he is as dangerous as he is ruthless." "Thank you for the warning. I think we'll chance a bit faster pace," Blockstenius says. "But Master Druid, if I may be so bold, may I ask a simple favour from you?" "Of course," he says as he perks up. My nephew hurt his ankle while searching for flowers to impress a certain young lass. In his fall, he wrenched his ankle. Would you be able to lend him your staff, so he does not damage his leg further?" The Druid is all too eager to please. He comes over to my side and hands me his oaken staff. I look at Blockstenius, but he stares off impassively. "Thank you, honoured Druid. We are fortunate to have such noble people as yourself among us. May I have your name, good Druid? When my ankle heals, where should I call to return this excellent staff?" He throws out his chest. "I am Bremne, and I am a student of Lord Braden at Brennan Cairn. But you may keep this staff as a gift from me. It is nothing to make a new one. If you should see any of your fellow Druids, tell them that Grami has been captured and is being held at Drewston's camp," Blockstenius says. A huge smile lights up his face. "This is great news. I'll let everyone I can find know at once." "Good Druid," I call. "It may be better to take an owl's form in this fog. They sense much better in this stuff than falcons." The boy furrows his brow in confusion. Blockstenius has his eyes pressed shut, and there is sweat forming at his temples. The boy takes the form of a short-eared owl and leaves us be. Blockstenius grunts his displeasure. "What?" "Grami," Blockstenius says, with exaggerated patience. "Would a common merchant advise Druids on what bird form would be best for them in various situations?" "I doubt it." "Then act like a common merchant. My illusion was nearly ruined when you suggested an owl form. I had to permanently change his memory so that once in animal form he won't realise the truth about us. Sorry, it won't happen again." He flicks his wrists, and the ponies increase their pace to a trot. I've barely been able to get comfortable, and already we've been stopped. How many more altercations are before us? "What of Feagle?" I ask, to change the subject. "We stopped at My Dun before coming to Land's End. Feagle and his family are all with your brother, Keenal. Feroth is at Dinas Gwenenin as well." "As I said, the entire family. But that is a tale best left for another time." I shake my head to make sure I heard right before I try another approach. "Boswin declined to take Feagle as a student. He felt it best to keep everyone out of sight until the current commotion is over." I nod. A smart move. In the lowlands between the moors, the temperature is warmer. The fog has burned away, and despite my present circumstances, it is a pleasant day. Boswin has to allow Feagle to become a Druid. He would surely be better than that child we just encountered. Blockstenius chuckles. "If you had yelled at the poor boy, I wager he would have wet himself." I have to stick up for my fellow Druids, even if they are aligned against me. He was young, but he would have done his duty if he sees it, if he had to do so. "I doubt it. He wants no part of Grami the Weathermaster, who throws God's fire and calls forth hail on a whim." "Now you mock me?" I ask. "No, I merely relate the tales that are being told of late in these parts." He smiles sidelong at me, and perhaps a little bit of mockery slipped in as well. "I hope you know better than to believe these wild tales." His eyes playful, he asks, "Did you really call forth a griffin from up north to defend yourself from my brother's men?" "Your brother?" "Yes, Runior. I told you that, didn't I?" "No, you most certainly did not." "I guess we'll have to blame it on my advanced stage, since, unlike some, I can't use the excuse that all of Druidom is chasing after me." "Are you done mocking me yet?" "For now. But know that these wild tales are being repeated and exaggerated daily. Even though storm clouds follow me wherever I go, I have not summoned them." We ride on in silence as my eyelids grow heavy. The horses' hooves continue their monotonous clip-clop tune, and I can barely maintain my vigilance. "I think it best if you get in the back of the wagon and stay out of view." That young one was no doubt close to Toker's steps, because he thought it unlikely to meet you. The ones closer to Dartmoor are bound to be both more eager and more capable.